We're going to address failures in the housing market head on. And we're going to unleash the power of public-private cooperation at a scale not seen in generations.
He wants to create a government-run construction company that is going to make prefab tiny homes with no parking spots. This is his idea for housing. This is even more radical than the stuff that came from Stephen Guilbeault and Justin Trudeau over the last 10 years. This is not a serious plan to protect our economy and break our dependence.
I think it's not a serious criticism, right? He goes into, sort of oddball conspiratorial things, like you're going to be living in your tiny home and eating bugs, which don't have any bearing on reality, and is exactly the problem here in terms of the vibes and the tone coming from Mr. Poilievre, right? It doesn't sound like he is actually serious about putting forward his own housing plan when all he's got is sort of these kinds of criticisms in this kind of way of Mr. Carney. The fact is that having a public developer is actually probably a good thing to be able to actually develop public land and others to get things done.
And as a policy wonk, I think this election is less about policy than any we've seen for a long time. But let me just say the contrast here between what Carney's putting on the table, what Poilievre's putting on the table. Carney is saying we're going to use more government to get more solutions and more things done. He's talking about a big fund to help build social and other kinds of housing. He's talking about the government helping people get these things done. And it has the feel of, we believe in government and we're going to get government to help people make these things done. Now, Poilievre on the other side is saying we want to get government out of the way. We want to get the GST off of new homes. We want to get the gatekeepers out of the way, whatever that means. And so to the extent there's differences, and by the way, I should just say there's a lot of similarities between these two plans. Carney's also taking the GST off, or promising to. To the extent there's a difference between these big plans, it's sort of a plan with more government and a plan with less government, and that aligns with their general philosophical things.